Hello all, just a message for all of the riders. Might take a little bit of time, but I really hope that you listen into this because there's some really important messages that we need to get across to you if you're coming to race at Bantasia on Sunday. It's getting really exciting, it's getting very close. First of all, just a massive thank you to all of you really for supporting the event. Obviously we were really gutted that we weren't possibly going to be able to run the meeting when we realised that there wouldn't be any public, but we found a way of making it happen because we feel like it was important that everybody got a chance to race. You know, Ben and Russell and Luke are all riders themselves. I've been racing and retired recently, but we know everyone just wants to ride their bikes, and you guys have entered in earnest and you're coming along and supporting the club, and everyone's been great. So just first of all, massive thank you to all of you for getting yourselves stuck in and coming to join us on Sunday. Hopefully we've put on a brilliant track for you. Obviously we've got the live stream as well, so we've tried to do everything we can to make it feel nice and special, just so that it'll be a good meeting. Now, there are some things that I need to talk to you about. First of all, COVID rules is the first thing. Now, we've had a lot of people asking us about the COVID rules. It's really, really strict. We've had the local council talking to us as well. The ACU have been talking to us as well. It is absolutely fundamental that we get this right. If we get this wrong, Grasstrack could be in massive trouble. It's much bigger than the club. So we really need you to do your bit here. If you're a solo rider, you're allowed one mechanic and a family member. So the way that that's designed is if you're a solo rider, you can bring your partner and then you can have a mechanic from another household. That is it. We really recommend that you and your mechanic come alone, to be honest, just the two of you. The safer it can be, the better. But we understand that it's a family sport. We understand that. And lots of you want to bring your families, but it can only be one member of your family household. That can only be it. If you've got children, obviously you can bring your children as long as they're under 16. They're exempt, and we understand as well that you can't often get childcare. If you and your partner are both coming racing, the kids need to come too. But that's it. We can't really have any more than that. If you can't find a workaround for that and you've had to bring 2 or 3 members of the family with you, then we recommend that you don't then bring a mechanic too. We really need to try and keep it as restricted as we possibly can in those pit bays. It's really got to be a real high importance for everybody on the day. Really does have to be. Like I say, the local council are involved. If we do get a visit from the local constabulary, which might very well happen, it happened at a motocross quite close to the venue, and a trials had one last week as well where the local police turned up. They'll want to see our paperwork, they'll want to see our lists of people, they'll want to check everything over, and if we have got it right, which I know we all can, it won't be a problem. But please, if you've got any queries about that, do ask. But it's very clear: one rider, one mechanic. If you're a sidecar rider, of course, you can bring your passenger, and your passenger can also bring their partner and children if they've got children too. Those are very important rules, though, that I need everybody to follow. If you get to the gate on Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon, evening, when you get there, we've got a list. You've had to email us and tell us who you're bringing. A couple of you have queried whether you can bring extra people or if there's anyone else, and we've had those conversations. Whoever's on the list is coming in. If you're not on the list, you don't come in. It's as simple as that. We'll be checking the vans, we'll be checking everything on the way in. It's just very, very important that we get it right. So please don't take the piss, basically. Just make sure that you are thinking about that, because it'll be Grasstrack that suffers in the end, and we don't want to do that. So that'll be on the gate. The people that are on the gate will check the list. If you're on the list, fine, you'll make your way in. Now, if you're coming up Saturday, because you're camping over, you can arrive at the field between 4 and 7, really, is the best time to arrive. Nobody will be coming in before 4, and we're hoping that everyone who's coming on Saturday will be in by 7, and then we can sort of start to close down for the evening. We can't have people turning up at different times. It's just not going to work under the current COVID rules. So between 4 and 7 on Saturday, and then Sunday from 7 o'clock in the morning, the gates will be open. And we'll get everyone in. Once everybody's in, we'll close the gate behind them. Okay, so you'll be in for the day. So all the riders, we'll tick them off as they come in. Practice is at 11, so you should all be there by 11 at least. Once everyone's in, close the gates, and we do our bit with the racing. When you come in, the first thing that will happen is you will be obviously signed in at the gate. Then you will go through to the signing on, and I'll talk about the signing on in a little bit. And then you'll go to the pits. You'll be allocated a pit bay on arrival. You must stay in your pit bay wherever possible. If you leave your pit bay, you need to make sure you're wearing your mask. Grasstrack Banter masks are available on the website, as you know. But in all seriousness, make sure you've got your mask when you leave the pit area. Obviously, when you're going up to the pit box and you're getting your helmet on, you can then, you don't need to wear your mask in your helmet. But anywhere around the pits or around the field, you need to make sure you're wearing your mask and staying in your own pit bay as much as possible. If you're camping, you've got to stay in the camping bay that you've been allocated. You can't be sort of mixing into different campers. If that's happening, then we'll have to deal with that. We don't want that to be happening. You've got to try and stay, or you've got to stay in your pit bay or in your camping bay, and that's where you are. You don't go mixing around. It's not like usual. We've only got to wait a month, and then we can just do Grasstrack how we know it, where we all mix and we're all mates and we all hang out and we all do what we do. But we've just got to get this meeting through first. So don't be mixing bubbles. All around the venue, there'll be a QR code. You've probably seen them yourselves when you go to restaurants and public places. There's a QR code. You need to scan it with your what's the word? The NHS COVID app. So you need to just scan the QR code while you're there. That means that everybody knows that you've been there. You'll see them everywhere, so you'll know to do that. But at some point during the day, make sure you do that. Track and trace app, that's the word I was trying to think of. Track and trace. So make sure you scan that. There'll be hand sanitising stations all over the place as well. So use that on arrival. So as soon as you get there, you'll see 2 or 3 of them. It might be even more than that as hand sanitising station. Bring your own to be even better as well. But go to the hand sanitising station, get your hands sanitised, do what you need to do, and then use it throughout the day as much as you possibly can, and encourage all of your pit to do the same. I know it's all a bit strange, but we've got to follow these things. Saturday signing in will be available, and Luke will come to you. If you come to the meeting on Saturday evening between 4 and 7, Luke will come to you and get you signed in, ready for the Sunday, so you won't need to sign in then. If you do come on the Sunday, after you've come through the gate and you've been checked in, you'll be directed to the signing on area. Okay, so that'll be somewhere between the entrance to the field and the pits. The signing on area will be there. You go to the signing on area, you'll sign on there with Luke, and then once you're signed on, you'll then go over to the pits where you will be allocated your pit bay for the day. Okay, it's a bit different way to do it, but obviously, usually when we go signing on, we get to the tent, there's often a queue, we often stand there and have a chat, don't we? And we're trying to avoid all of those crowds, so we'll sign you in on the way in if you're there on the Sunday. Might take a bit longer, so give yourselves time and make sure that you're not sort of last minuting it. The parking attendants will allocate you your pit bay. Everyone will have their pit bay. The least hassle that we get, the better. Obviously, they'll do their absolute best to get you where you need to be, but it'll be where you need to be. And I know that sometimes we're quite picky about where we go in the pits, but we can't really have that. You'll be given your area. Go in that, you're getting your day's racing, so please do what you can to just make yourselves as comfortable as you can be. The marshals will sign on as well, so any marshals and officials will sign on in the same way. Into the field, get to the signing on tent, get signed in, get parked, and then sort the day out. Scrutineering is another one that's slightly different. Sunday morning, scrutineering will happen. You will basically bring your bike up, move away, the scrutineer will scrutineer the bike, tell you when it's time to come back, you'll get your bike and go. At all times, you'll be wearing your face mask. The scrutineer will wear their face mask too. Engines mustn't start till 11 because that's the rule for the local area. Again, we do not want to be encouraging any unwanted attention from the locals. So 11 o'clock, practice starts as well. So we will give you the shout. You can start warming your bikes up at 11. And then we should have ample time to get you out onto track, get some practice, get a practice in too, ready to go racing later on. The toilets will be routinely cleaned through the day as well. So you'll see that going on. We've got a very kind volunteer for that, doing that for us. There will be a food van in attendance, but only on the Sunday. So please, if you come in Saturday night, bring your own food or be ready to get something on the way. And the food will be there on Sunday, ready for you. Please also make sure you pack a bin bag, because we want you to take your rubbish home. Again, it's another COVID safety rule. It's in the risk assessment. It's really important that people aren't littering and leaving litter everywhere and not thinking about how they're dealing with that. So please make sure you have packed a bin bag and you use the bloody thing as well. We don't want to be having lots of mess everywhere, obviously, but also it's another COVID risk. So please make sure you take your rubbish home. Basically, just, we've been doing it now for over a year, haven't we? We know how to keep ourselves safe in this world at the moment. We've literally got till the 23rd of May in Grasstrack terms, and then we've got the Cornwall meeting, and it'll be slowly getting back to normality again, and we can slowly but surely release these rules that we're not going to like, but we've got to follow them. We've really got to follow them for now, just so that we can get this Grasstrack meeting on, we can get Grasstrack underway, we can make the absolute best of it. We've obviously got the live stream happening, so if you've got family that wanted to come, get them on the live stream. It's only $4.99. We're really pulling out all the stops to make it a professional job as well. Obviously, you can watch it afterwards as well. You can get home and watch it after the meeting and have a look and see your moment in the sun. We've got photographers there as well. So because of all of that, it's even more crucial that we get all the COVID stuff right, because obviously we will be scrutinised afterwards. If there's anything looking slightly like it's not right, someone will have us for it. So you must make sure you do your bit and make sure that you're really following these rules that we've put in place. It's all in the risk assessment, which the ACU have seen, the local council have seen, so everyone's happy with it. We just now need you guys to do your bit and follow those rules, okay, which I know that you can do. That's about it from me. Between practice and racing, our clerk of the course, Adrian Croft, I'm sure many of you know Adrian, he is going to meet you all in the middle of the circuit, socially distanced, because obviously we can't have you in a crowd. Adrian will give you his rider's briefing then. We'll also do a minute silence for Prince Philip and for some friends that we've lost recently as well in the sport. So we'll do a minute silence while you're in the middle of the circuit, so please make sure that you're ready for that, that your pit members are all ready for that too, and we'll do that, and then we'll get on with it. And we've got a lot of races to get through. To start with, we'd limited the classes, but when we realised we wanted to run a meeting, we thought, well, we can't stop people from racing. We want to have as many people there having an opportunity to race their bikes as possible. We've all missed it. And that meant, unfortunately, we had a lot of races. We really want to give you all 4 rides because you've not raced your bikes for so long. We want you to have 4 races on the day. And all of that means we have got an awful lot of races to get through. And I don't really apologise for that. I just want you all to be aware of it, because obviously there will be some times where you think, Christ, that's a long time between races. Yes, it is in some cases, but those are the reasons. The reason was we wanted as many riders to get a go as possible. We wanted to make sure we weren't excluding anyone. We don't have quads and left-handers, and we feel a bit bad about that, but we had to stop somewhere. We're 68 races as it is. So we need to make sure we get through the races as quick as we can. We've set up the field so that it will whip through the races. The way that your setup is ready, as long as you're ready, we'll be ready to whip through it as well. We'll get to the end of the day. We'll get all of our 68 races done. We'll all go home with massive smiles on our faces, and it'll be good. Okay, we've just all got to play our part at this point. All right. If there are any questions, obviously you can ask myself, Luke, Ben, or Russell as well. Any of the 4 of us can answer your questions. Adrian Croft obviously is the clerk of the course as well, so he's a good one to ask about anything regs related. We will have several ACU track racing committee members at the venue, myself included, although I'll be a bit tied up, but there'll be others as well. So once you're there on the day, you can ask any questions of those as well. We should have a really, really good day. The weather's playing its part. We've got the water bowser out. Who'd have thought it at this time of year? It's going to be superb. We just need to make sure that we cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and then we will be happy. But looking forward to seeing you Sunday, guys. Look after yourselves until then, and I will see you on Sunday.